Maggie and I always loved kids. We had our own little practice baby named Aiden. Maggie had him since he was 3 months old. She would have him every weekend. And I met him when he was 9 months, just sweetest little guy. We love Aiden. We took him everywhere. He's got Jason and Aiden in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. We just wish we could have our own kids. We've always loved kids. I mean, way before Aiden, I would always, when I was a little kid, I would play with babies and pick them up, and people would always tell me, oh, you're going to be a great dad someday. When my nieces and nephews were born, I would always play with them.
Jason and I, after we got married, obviously we tried to have kids, and you know, it didn't happen for us. And I knew in my heart, as I prayed in my quiet time, that the Lord told us that we would have children. But He never answered my question if I'd ever be pregnant. But He told me that we would have children. So as we journeyed along, you know, we tried different avenues. We saw a couple doctors, and we just didn't feel peace moving forward.
And it was a very tough time, especially for Maggie. She was so sad, and I just felt so bad for Maggie.
We then went into looking at private adoption, international adoption, domestic adoption. We talked to a couple agencies, and we didn't have peace on that.
We didn't feel that the private agencies were right for us. It was very expensive, very time-consuming, and we just thought there's got to be a better way. And so we kept praying, and that's when Maggie started talking with Zach and Shannon at the Hope Water Runs, and they told her about fostering to adopt.
I met Zach and Shannon James, and they told us about their story about going to doing fostering children to adopt.
So we took foster training classes at the Ennis Center for Children in Pontiac. It's a very easy process, 3 Saturdays, 8 hours a day classes. The classes were great. Then they did home inspections. They visited our home. They made sure it was all child-proof. They gave us fingerprint tests. They did background checks.
The people were wonderful. They were very, just made us feel at home. We felt peace with everyone that we met there. Very personable, very supportive to us.
We thought the process was easier than the way Zach and Shannon described it. It was easier than what they told us, in my opinion, and I think Maggie agrees. We waited all through April, and we didn't get a call, and Mother's Day was coming up, and then the week before Mother's Day, I got a call from Katie at the Ennis Center, and she said they had this little 22-month-old African-American boy who needs a forever family. Would we be interested?
And she told me this story about this little boy who was 22 months old. His name was Jeremiah, and that he was well. He had no emotional or psychological issues going on, and that he needed a forever home. And I started crying. I was like, I thought it was going to take years for us to be able to adopt a child. I thought it was going to be multiple children in our home. We prepared ourselves for that, knowing that if we were going to foster, that we might have to give the child back to the birth mother.
We got the call. That was really putting us on the spot. They wanted us to make a decision that day about whether we're going to adopt a kid and have him be permanently part of our family. We've got less than a day to decide. Most parents get 9 months to know that they're going to have a baby. We had until the close of the business day. That's a monumental, life-changing decision. We're bringing in this kid, we're giving him our inheritance, everything we've worked for, we're giving him our name, we're making him a permanent part of our family.
We looked at each other, we prayed with each other, and we felt peace moving forward. And we said yes to Jeremiah. We had no idea what he was going to look like. We just knew he was African American and that he was healthy. The following week we got a call to go to a meeting and that we would be picking up Jeremiah. at this meeting.
I just remember he had this huge runny nose because he did have some sinus issues. But in the middle of the meeting, I took out a car and a teddy bear and a book, and he was on the social worker's lap, and he climbed down and walked all the way to the end of this conference table, climbed up in my lap on the swivel chair.
And he just sat right in Jason's arms, and we got a good look at him. And all I remember is his beautiful blue, green, gray eyes.
And sat on my lap the whole time, and we're flipping through the book, and he sees a sheep, and he goes, "Sheep." I'm like, this is a smart kid.
We took him home, and I remember we had to stop at Meijer because we had to get him, we had to get a scale, we had to get a couple things that we needed. He was just so sweet and happy and talkative and just very joyful child, and many people at Meijer kept saying how beautiful he was, and I think I was just like on cloud nine.
I remember the very first night we brought him home, Mama was playing a song by the Newsboys, and Jeremiah was dancing with her, and I had it on video on my phone. And all of a sudden, 25 years flashed before my eyes, and I could picture him dancing with his mommy at his wedding, the mommy son dance. And I would be able to play this video from the very first dance to that time they danced at the wedding, and that flashed right before my eyes on that first day. It was a special moment.
He loves to play tackle kisses.
Tackle kisses. Tackle kisses. Tackle kisses. Yes.
Everybody.
You want me to get the belly? You want me to get the belly? Am I getting the belly? Am I gonna get the belly? Smile.
So we got him in May, so all through spring, summer, fall, and even into a little bit of the winter, he loves to push his lawnmower all over Clawson.
People know us as the couple that pushes the little baby with the lawnmower. We live right across from the park, so Jeremiah loves to play on the slides. He loves to play on the swings, the dinosaur, the jungle gym.
He loves to be on the jungle gym and jump and go on the slides, and he loves the dinosaur.
Oh, Jeremiah, we love you. Jeremiah is my sweetie.
He loves to, every time he asks, I want to go on to dinosaur. He loves to swing. I was pretty amazed at how quick he would go on things, and he didn't have really much fear. They have a sand volleyball court, and he decided he wanted to sit in the sand, and we thought it was cute, and then he took the sand and put it in his hair.
What are you doing?
And as you can see from his pictures, he's got very tight, curly hair.
Your thoughts?
We gotta get the sand out. He looks like a sandman.
We took a bath that night, and I had to use the shower. I had to shower his hair with a shower head to spray it out of his hair because it wasn't coming out from just me pulling, trying to get it out. And he kept telling me, "I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm sorry, Mommy." Our first lesson with African American hair.
And Bingo, what's his name? Oh.
He loves to sing Chef Goofy on the Go, and he loves to sing Veggie Tales.
Broccoli, celery, gotta be enough.
So, and he learned the songs very quickly and picked up on the words very well. We were both very amazed at how quickly he could pick up on words.
Say pizza.
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 We were very blessed that so many people came to visit us. Every week it seemed like somebody new was coming to visit. First week, Melissa came with Amelia and Matthew. Then Auntie Jeanette came over. Auntie Dee Dee came over at one point. Nana came over, and Nana and Grampy came over a couple times, and we had supper outside in the yard. We had a barbecue. Grandma Ninette came in for Jeremiah's birthday party for his second birthday. Aunt Doreen and Uncle Joe came. Doreen and Ryan came before that. Auntie Leanne came in from Seattle to see him. She actually had a trip to Tennessee, but while she was there, she rented a car and drove up to Detroit for 2 days so she could meet her new nephew. We were just really touched by that. That was the day Maggie pushed Jeremiah in a stroller for a 5K race. That was a really fun time. Then in July, Christine, Sissy, came to visit, Jeremiah's cousin. They had a blast. They actually went to Lake Michigan. We went to the zoo. They had a really fun time together. In August, Aunt Sally and Melanie came from Syracuse. That was really cool. Jennifer from Australia came. Granted, she was already in the U.S., but she came, and she's from Australia, so it makes it sound like Jeremiah got a really distant visitor.
Almost every week we had visitors coming, and it was just so wonderful how many people supported us and came to visit us. And as always, we always had our Aiden with us, probably almost every weekend. And it was a big transition for Aiden, but he learned to love Jeremiah just as we did, and they became really good buddies.
What are you doing, kiddo? You're putting stuff down my shirt. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing?
They would go for walks together. They would ride in the wagon together. They would go to the playground together. They would push cars together. Aiden and I built this big tower out of blocks in the basement, and Jeremiah didn't even knock it over. Aiden and Jeremiah got along really well. We were so happy. They did fight over toys sometimes, but what kid doesn't? Especially at the age of 2 and 3. We were so sad when Aiden moved away. There was a very sad moment for Uncle Jay and for Maggie.
Bye, Mommy, Dad. I'm a great baby. Is it killed?
Airplane going out.
Bye-bye.
Okay, buddy, watch this. This is your first karate lesson. You ready? Work out horse stance for your hands. Hey! Knees. And we do inside block. Uchi, uki. Tst. 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 Okay, look left.
And 4.
Down block. Tst. Step and punch. Tst. High level punch. Look back.
He's watching you. Oh, he's so cute. He's trying to do it.
Where's my Jeremiah?
Where's my Jeremiah?
Where's my Jeremiah?
Where is he?
Where did he go?
Where'd he go?
Where's my Jeremiah?
Go!
There's my Jeremiah.
Where's Jeremiah? Ah, there he is!
Mama, where's Jeremiah? Ta-da! There he is.
Ta-da!
Where's my Jeremiah? Where'd he go? Hi, Jeremiah. Where's my Jeremiah? There's my Jeremiah. Where's my Jeremiah? There's my Jeremiah. Where's my Jeremiah? Where did he go? Where'd he go? There's my Oh, did you hurt your finger? Come here, bud.
We took Jeremiah to Domino's Farm because we took our nephew, Aiden, there. We thought it would be a great opportunity to take him to see the animals that he has learned about in books. And at first he was a little apprehensive, and Mommy had to help him learn to feed the animals. But he loved it after a while, and he was just amazed to be able to see all the animals, from the sheep, the goats, the llamas, the horses, the ponies. He loved every bit of it. So on July 4th, we have these amazing fireworks in Clawson, and we have like the best spot in probably Clawson to see them right at our house. And they have a little bit like a fair, and they bring in ponies. And he wanted to ride the pony, so we tried to put him on the pony, and he got scared and wanted to come right off the pony. And so all summer long, he kept telling us after the fair was gone, he would say, "That's where the ponies are, the ponies, the ponies." So then he had another opportunity. We took him to the Romeo Peach Festival, and they had ponies, and we put him on, and we tried 3 times there, and nope, couldn't do it. He just got too scared. And Sel was talking about the ponies and how he wanted to ride a pony. So finally, at the Rochester Oktoberfest, there was ponies there. And so I put him on, and at this time I'm like, I'm just gonna be persistent. I think he could do this. And I put him on, and the guy that was getting the ponies to move, he just had to move right away. And he loved it. And then we couldn't get him off the ponies because he wanted to ride them all day long. And so after that, Daddy told him that he was so proud of him because he was a pony rider.
And I told him, buddy, I'm so proud of you. You're a pony rider. You conquered your fears.
And so every time that we tell Jeremiah that we are proud of him, he goes, I'm a pony rider.
Buddy, I'm so proud of you.
I'm a pointer writer, Daddy. I'm a pointer writer. I'm a pointer writer.
So he correlates that to being a very good boy, and it's just, I think that's amazing that a little boy can correlate that.
Hi, Mama. Say, yeehaw.
We did have some struggles with him. He would fight us quite a bit when it was time to get in the car seat, or when it was time to get a new diaper or go to bed.
Jeremiah, we love you. We love you.
And it was hard. There was many times that he didn't want to listen. He is strong-willed, but I think that strong-willedness is what got him through some of his own battles that he faced at a very young age. But we had to work with him. We had to learn different ways. And I think it is a struggle when you get a child that's a little bit older, because you're trying to constantly figure them out. Like, how are they going to respond to this?
We learned to distract him, and we would say, "What does the cow say?" And then he would answer, "Moo."
What's wrong, buddy? Can you make the kitty cat sound again? Meow. Meow. Say it again. What does the doggy say? Woof, woof, woof. What does the cow say? What does the kitten say?
He did have a few health problems. We've had to take him to the ER 4 times, including on his birthday for an ear infection.
Then he had to have his adenoids removed, so he had to have surgery. And then a week later, he developed cellulitis on his right buttock, on his bottom. And then a week later, we had to take him back to the ER because it turned into an abscess.
He actually had emergency surgery, and then he had to stay overnight in the hospital, and he slept on Daddy's lap in a recliner in the hospital room. So he slept on my lap with an IV in his arm all night.
What's wrong, buddy? Oh, your plate is stuck? Let's try to get it out of there. Can you help?
I'm just breaking it out.
We got it! Yay! We got it! Can you give me 5? Yeah.
Yay.
Good night.
So all summer long, we would have visits from our social worker, Autumn, and we'd have visits from our adoption worker, Raul. And they would always ask us, so anything else that you want to tell us after all the paperwork and meetings? We're like, well, is there anything we can do to speed this up and get this adoption over with quicker? Because he's still in foster care technically, and we knew we'd be adopting, but there's always the chance, until that paperwork is signed, there's always the chance that something could happen and he could be taken away.
Well, hold on, I'm trying.
1, 2,
Say wee!
When the day came, we were just so excited.
November 22nd was Michigan's official adoption day in Michigan, and all the judges in the circuit were at the courthouse that day. They say it's their favorite day of the year because everybody leaves happy.
Happy Adoption Day!
Happy Adoption Day!
Our little guy was just was pretty wired up.
Jeremiah walks in the courtroom, and you think I gave him like a lot of sugar. He starts running around everywhere. He ends up in the back where the judges are, where they're putting on their robes, and they're laughing, and he's giggling, and he was just, we couldn't get him to sit still.
Grampy came in his wheelchair. Aunt Dee Dee came. Shannon came, and she brought the boys, Jacob and little G, we'll call him. So it was really good to have friends and family there.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the full truth and nothing but the truth?
We had to raise our right hand, and she asked us questions like, will we provide for him educationally, spiritually, emotionally, financially? Will we accept him as our son, as we had him, gave birth to him?
And do you understand that if your request is granted, you will be the parent of your son in all respects, just as if he has been born to you? Do you understand that you will be under you're facing intellectual, spiritual, and moral guidance of Jeremiah. You understand?
So it was a beautiful time. We were so blessed to be able to be a part of that and to know that he was ours forever.
The Ennis Agency did a great job. We're so happy we worked with them. I think, and I tell Maggie this, I think we had it a lot easier than a lot of other people. For some reason, I think our experience just went exactly as predicted, exactly as hoped. And other people, it doesn't go that easy for, but we would definitely recommend Ennis. We definitely have had a wonderful experience.
So after we were called on Jeremiah and they told us his name was Jeremiah, I looked at my coffee table and there is this plaque that I have that was given to me. A friend bought it for me, and it's Jeremiah 29:11. It's the verse, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope in a future." And I looked at that and I go, that plaque has been there for years, since I was probably like 35, maybe 34. It's been there for years, and it's been sitting there. And so God must have had that always in his mind, that we were going to have a son named Jeremiah.
He's overcome so much in this life, and we're so glad to be able to give him a loving home. We're so glad to be a forever family with our Jeremiah.